Hello, my name's Laura, and this is Hayley.
Okay.
And what's your name and job role?
My name's Patrick Bullock, and my job role in this project is designer for the sets and like a curator for an exhibition of work done by the children of the city of Ulo.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much. Have you always wanted to work in the arts?
Yeah, well, it's a difficult question. I've always been interested in art and in making stuff from a very young age. And I sort of fell into it. I think making stuff is anything you do. So I do a bit of catering. I love doing things with my hands, hence I'm doing a bit of work as I'm being interviewed. And I'm very happy that I'm in the work that I'm in now. I'm a community artist, so that means I go into various schools, into communities, and I help them realise their own dreams. And now and again, I get the opportunity to make a piece of my own work. But you know, it's really good fun, and I get to travel.
Very good. So, what inspired you from a young age to want to work in the arts?
The fact that I didn't want to sit behind a desk. He said, sitting behind a desk. I really didn't. I didn't like the hierarchy of office work. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. It took me a long time to decide which area I like working in. And in fact, I work in lots of different areas. It's not just making this. I work in, I sing in a choir, I do catering, I illustrate books. Basically, it's anything to do with art that has a slight price tag to it, so I can earn a living. And I think that's the key. It's being able to do the things you enjoy and get paid to do the things that you enjoy. And there's nothing stopping you from changing what you do. I'll never be a millionaire because I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, and I think if you're really focused on one thing, you can make a lot of money, or you can make a name for yourself. But as I'm really old now, I think I'm finding that even coming to Finland, where I'm now, I think that it's the end, or not the very end of my career, but it's a build-up. I couldn't have come to Finland and done this project without all the experience I've gained over the years working in schools and working with communities. I hope that answers your question. I do meander off the point.
That's all right. So how did you get involved in this project in particular?
This project in particular, I was working for the company Emergency Exit Arts, and the project had already begun, and they were looking for someone to step into that vacancy. So I was very lucky. And there was a little carrot dangling. It was like, there's a chance that you might go to Portugal. And I'm like, wow, go to Portugal. But you have to work with a school and a theatre group. Now, most of the work I do is to do with parades. And even though as an artist, I've seen other artists be involved with theatre, like for instance David Hockney. I remember seeing a backdrop he did for a play, and I was thinking, God, that'd be really great to do. And then suddenly I was given the opportunity to design backdrops and set pieces for this theatre piece called School Ties, which was set in a school in Deptford. It was an empty school, and it was really good fun. Really hard work, and then at the end of it, there was the carrot was like, yes, and we're going to go to you will be going to Portugal. And whilst I was getting ready to go to Portugal, another little carrot was added. It was like, and we'll talk about the Finnish trip. And I'm like, Finland, fantastic. So when I've talked to my friends about this project, they're going, how did you get that? And I think a bit of advice is always be enthusiastic. Enjoy what you do, enjoy your job, and try and make contacts with people. And I'd like to think, say with the School Ties, I put in extra work, and I think that always pays off in the end. It's not that I can't get things right the first time. It's that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I like details. It can be my downfall because it drives you a bit mad sometimes when you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning still stitching stuff. So yes, I've again wandered off the point, but you know.
So what has the highlight been so far of this project?
The highlight?
Or a highlight that you're hoping for?
Well, there's always the end product, but that isn't, for me, that's never the highlight. That's what you're aiming towards. The really good part of this project is being working with other professional people, coming to ULO and seeing how they do their own work, and being so welcomed. And I think the highlight has been that this is the first project where I've been working now on it for 2 years, and there is a definite progression and a link between each of the sections. Most of the other work I do is very episodic. It's like I go there and do a parade, you're doing another parade there, you're working in a school there for another project, doing a bit of catering. You know, it's all separate. And I've seen progression in my work, and I've seen progression in the artists who I'm working with from the theatre of ULO City Theatre, Maya, and she is incredibly ordered and I am incredibly messy, and for some really nice magic moment has happened where her ordering has sort of caged my messiness, but it's come together really well, and I've really enjoyed working with her. She's very quiet and very methodical, and she doesn't give you an answer immediately. She'll think about it, whereas I might go, oh yeah, do it like this, but I've had to hold back, and it's been very useful. So I'm hoping that I can do collaborative work again with Maya on this project, but who knows. But that's, I would say, if there was a highlight, it's working with Maya and being so welcomed here. As I said to you at the show yesterday, everything I've asked for to do with this project, everyone said yes. I mean, it's been great. Yes, you can have it, yes. And the people are wonderful here. So, again, the people. It's people. And I think people are the same all over the world. They're not all really nice, but most of them are. So, there we go.
And has there been any obstacles that you've had to overcome along the way?
Obstacles? Making time for this project. Again, I think the obstacles are my own problems with working things, and maybe spending too much time on things. But you know, if you're up late doing something to do with the project, it's when you pass that, when you're up late and you're actually going, oh God, I've got to finish this off, and it's really hard. But once the next day, you're quite, oh, it's in the past, so there's not really been an obstacle. It's been great travelling to Finland. I can't get over the fact that I'm travelling, and there's an opportunity where I might be going to St. Petersburg, which is like suddenly I'm an international artist, not just Brighton artist.
As a visual artist, can you give us any feedback on our Dreamscope box?
Okay. I haven't read your the piece that you wrote, and I think that would be quite useful to do. I was doing my neurons, but what I saw was a progression from what you'd seen. It was a response to the show. I like the use of materials. You've been very sensitive in using the materials well. And I like the fact you've gone out of the box slightly, which is always good, because that's something. I think one of the things that I like doing when I go into teach in schools is I try to help the. I don't think of students as just students. I think of them as they're artists then, and they're going to be artists, or whatever field they're going to be in. So it's respect, and giving little hints and stuff like that. But the piece of work, thinking out the box, is great. You know, I like it. I think it fits really well with the show. That's always a problem sometimes when you get a piece of work and you've got to make it work with something, but it fits in perfectly. So well done, you two.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
then.
you.
Thank you.